Yeah, so I think the best way to change people's actions is, again, to live it out yourself, and also
Mm,
to be open and compassionate and listening. The prophet, peace be upon him, during his time, he had a wide range of people. I mean, he had the polytheists, which was the main, centerpiece
mm-hmm.
of what he was dealing with, but he also
Right.
had to deal with the Jews and the Christians and even the atheists, and he still was able to move forward with his mission. And so if he would have just been like, well, like, I'm going to attack this person or attack this person or attack, that mission would have failed, and Islam would have been,
Mm-hmm.
crushed. But he found a way to build treaties with different communities. He opened dialogue at all times. He always had outstanding manners. I mean, he resembled, to me, especially from just a Jewish standpoint, he really portrayed himself as someone who walks the walk of the prophets of the past that I would have seen out of
Right.
Jeremiah or Ezekiel or Nehemiah, etc.
Right. Um, Ali.
Wow, I'm curious more about those comparisons between Judaism and Islam because in modern day people are fighting amongst each other, but I know a lot about the Jewish faith, and I know that we're actually a lot more in common than people make it out to be. So, for you, what are the parallels between Judaism and Islam?
Right, it's typological.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever, and this is what I spend a lot of time doing videos on, and just kind of posting that on my Instagram, is just showing how the prophets of the past point to the prophet and his family. And they do it in different ways where it's just, if because I always ask that question of, like, why didn't Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, come earlier? Well, civilization just wasn't ready for this kind of message. It needed to be kind of built up. So this is where we have that veneration
Wow,
of the prophets from the Israelites that can kind of pave that way, so that when he enters the scene, people are ready for that.
amazing. Yeah. Continue on a bit. Like, what are the more of the similarities too? You're saying it's a continuation.
Yes,
Um.
I see it as a continuation because, I actually had a dialogue
Mhm.
with a rabbi about this, and I asked him, why do you think prophecy ended with Malachi? And he said, well, the Jewish people just stopped listening to the prophets. And I said, exactly. So
Mhm.
if you stop listening to the prophets, what's to say that you're not going to listen to Prophet Yahya or Prophet Isa or
Mhm.
Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and
Mhm.
then finally the Alabate? So it is a
Mhm.
continuation. It's just it's choosing to stop whenever we want to, and it's interesting because the Holy Quran talks about some of the disbelievers. In other words, this is referring to the Jews and Christians. Decide to pick certain prophets that they want to believe in, but then they stop when it's most convenient. And as Muslims, and especially in the school of Alabay, we believe in all the prophets, and then we believe in all the guides that continue on from there on out. Not that the imams are prophets or anything afterwards, but just as a one continuum of God sending guidance throughout the rest of mankind.